What if I told you that one of the most beloved characters from your childhood wasn't who they appeared to be? What if I told you that this character was in fact escorting the dead to the afterlife, specifically children? What if I told you that Peter Pan was the angel of death? Welcome to the show. My name is Enigma, Detective Enigma, and I'm in charge of all things going on in this office. My job, my responsibility and my duty is to investigate the scary, gruesome and bizarre conspiracies that are hidden away from our society. Why are these things hidden from us? Is there any truth to them? Was 9/11 an inside job? Who really shot JFK? All of these will be looked at in due time. But for this week, we take a deep dive into the film industry. We've got a filing cabinet packed full of theories for you tonight, and don't forget that you can always get in touch via Twitter using the hashtag conspiracy or UON conspiracy. This is It's a Conspiracy, movie and fan theory edition. Welcome. Today I'm joined by...
Emil Shepherd.
Oh, it's very interesting how you have that.
I mean, it does, block out all the government signals.
Well, let's take a look at our first case. What do we have here? Oh, yes, an animation. Welcome back. Well, someone has obviously dedicated a lot of their time to go through all of these movies and analyse them frame by frame to find these Easter eggs. So that's some damn fine police work. My hat's off to them right there. Better job than I can do. I must ask though, do you believe in these theories? So the first question is, the video we just watched suggests that all Pixar films are connected. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, come on. You look at everything. Everything's connected deep down. You think about it. Pixar, the government, 9/11, all of it's connected, you just got to look into it.
So you're suggesting that Pixar did 9/11?
Well, you can never know, the Illuminati has its hands everywhere, and even Pixar's not safe. Not even Toy Story's safe from the greedy mitts.
I have my doubts about this conclusion, but we'll discuss that maybe a bit more later. So, there was a weird occurrence relating to The Incredibles. I don't know if you heard. So Rita Marks, a fashion designer and also the voice of Edna Mode, made all the costumes in real life. And 6 of the cast members were to receive them, and they were given the costumes. and on the way to the premiere of the film, there was a fatal car crash where Craig T. Nelson, the voice of Mr. Incredible, Holly Hunter, the voice of Elastigirl, and Jason Lee, the voice of Syndrome, were the only ones to survive the crash on the way to this premiere. What do you think of this? Do you think that they have powers?
Wow.
Or do you think that this might be a hoax?
They do say art imitates life. And if we know anything about government with MK Ultra, maybe they do have superpowers, you know? Maybe this is what Disney gave them in return for their voice casts.
So you're saying that there's a conspiracy that Disney might be giving away superpowers?
I mean, it's a good way to pay your actors, isn't it?
Now that is something I'd like to get in on. So, is that really the time? I believe it's my coffee break. And where is my assistant? She should have been here by now, but I should probably go look for her. Can I get you a tasty beverage? No? No? Okay. I wouldn't accept a drink from a stranger anyway. You don't know what could be in it, especially if we're talking about conspiracies today. So it's very wise of you.
Time to wake up. Hurry up and get to the kitchen. Wow! Make sure you grab a spoon, a bowl, and get ready. Whoa, whoa. Why trust the government when you can have a bowl of conspiracy flakes? Look at that milk just pour all over that. Don't you just want to eat it? Free tinfoil hat inside every box. Cerealific. Conspiracy flakes. Available in local stores and supermarkets.
Well, it's good to see that you stuck around, and especially you viewers at home. So let's not waste any time. Our next case file is, well, the only way to describe this would be bizarre. It examines theories within cinema that could blow your mind. So our team spoke to Dr. David Simmons, a senior lecturer at the University of Northampton, to get a professional's perspective on the plausibility of these conspiracies.
I think what's going on here with these kinds of movie conspiracy theories is there's a desire on the part of the audience to sort of reclaim back the text. It's quite interesting that most of these theories relate to very popular films or very popular series of films. There's some relevance here in talking about Stuart Hall's theories of dominant and negotiated readings. Because I think it's possible that maybe if you read into a film like Titanic, it's possible to come up with this sort of interpretation. But I think the people that are doing this know that they're reading against the kind of narrative of the film. And so it's a way of restating, it's a way of kind of reclaiming some agency. So rather than just going and watching the film, you are going and kind of applying your own reading onto it. And also I think this really sort of feeds into the whole kind of internet clickbait sort of culture, because lots of these theories, lots of these stories, lots of these readings are disseminated via online means through social media. And so if you stick, oh, how did you know that Tarzan is the brother of Anna and Elsa from Frozen? Someone's going to click on that and kind of read your page, watch your video, and it kind of spreads and spreads like that. The narrative of the film is a self-contained thing. It wasn't really the intention of the filmmakers to kind of convey this sort of message. However, having said that, I think there is value to a certain part of the fan audience having such a passion, having such an enthusiasm, having such a level of interest for these films, for Titanic, that they have studied it in sort of such detail that they're kind of reading it in this variety of different ways, because that's not the only sort of movie conspiracy theory around Titanic. So yeah, I think there's value to it, but I think in terms of truth, it's very unlikely to be true.
How on earth do people think up these things? It's just out of this world. So what are your thoughts on these bizarre theories? I have some questions I need to ask you. So do you agree with Dr. David Simmons? Are the fan theories just due to people wanting clickbait?
Well, you see, it's a very interesting thing here, because you can say maybe the fan theories aren't real, but you see in everyday life, conspiracy theories are real, and we all know they're true. So maybe it's true in this case too. Film and TV doesn't have to be separate from the scrutinous eye of us watchers. I believe that at least some of them have some basis in truth.
That's a very good conclusion. I like that. I need to get you on as my assistant at some point.
Well, you know, I'm always here. Got my tinfoil hat on.
I'll get in contact. Do you think that Jack is a time traveller, or were the inconsistencies due to just bad research on the production team's part?
Well, you see, time travel has existed much throughout our lives. You look at these Roman paintings, you see these old laptops and stuff. And if you look in like pictures from the 1800s, you see guys with iPods and things. So I don't think it's too weird to think that maybe Jack himself is a time traveller. I mean, who knows? Maybe he created the first time-travelling device. Maybe he's linked with Marty McFly and Doc Brown. It could all be linked.
I cannot disagree with you there. I think you might be onto something, actually.
Film
Let me know what you
hit me
find.
up.
Let me know what you find in your research findings.
Yeah.
So, for our last case file of the night, we had to dig 6 feet under. This is the case with occurrences of sudden and mysterious deaths. The case with unforeseen disasters and things that are just pure creepy. This case file is entitled Spooky, and rightly so. We took to the streets to ask you, the public, your thoughts on these theories.
Horror films.
Yeah, I think so. More
I'm not a fan of them.
more in theory than in practice. I like the idea of horror films.
Yeah, I'm a fan of all horror films, and I just like the storylines and what can happen to people in real life. In just a film, it actually does go on. Snuff movies, probably number one.
Occasionally I like them, but I do get a little bit scared, to be honest with you. But sometimes I like them, yeah.
The supernatural, the occult, the Ouija boards, the God, the not believing, it is true, it isn't true, the skeptics, and yeah, that.
I love horror films, they're my favourite genre. I love being scared, you don't really get that thrill from anything else. So yeah, I love horror films, I've seen a lot.
I've seen The Exorcist, I've seen It, I've seen Freddy Krueger, I've seen, I saw the Blair Witch Project.
I have seen The Exorcist, and I've seen the station, The Exorcist as well.
I haven't also
I've seen a bit of it and it was too scary.
clips and stuff like that.
It was too terrifying.
All three, all four. Yeah, they did in a few other houses in America, and they're doing the Motown as well. The Black Panthers look after the Motown sort of group. So yes, there is a phenomenon or something like the Mothman, you know, with the bridge and it all broke down and all the nuts and bolts facing the same way. So yeah, it's the true. There are true conspiracies. Yeah.
I know that Linda Blair says that she thinks her entire life has been cursed by the film. I know that Ellen Bernstein, she got like yanked by a cable and like really hurt her back and damaged her back, and then there's loads of weird coincidences about like the sort of deaths happening and planes and things, and like if they went on a certain plane. Yeah, I know about horror films. I feel like I'm spoiling this for you.
No, sorry.
Really? Oh, I can imagine, yeah, because it's probably quite disturbing. I can imagine it probably like kind of triggers off different emotions within people. Would have thought so.
You think it's a load of rubbish?
Poppycock. Yeah, I would
you don't believe
rather
it?
than.
I don't know. Supernatural.
Nah.
Maybe it was just really psychologically difficult filming that. I don't know. I wouldn't.
And it caused the fire.
I'd maybe believe that. I could believe that.
That's all.
Yeah, maybe.
That was some thought-provoking stuff. So thanks to all those who offered their opinions on these theories. But now I turn to my guests once again to ask for their opinions. But might I add, you know what is spooky? That this desk keeps changing every time we go to a different subject. I would say it's a conspiracy in itself, but I just have many assistants who come in and spruce it up for me.
You sure they're assistants, Adam, and not part of the globalist conspiracy?
Or ghosts. So, The Exorcist, obviously there are loads of stories, loads of things about that, especially with several people dying on set during the production, which made people think, is this film haunted? What's your opinion on these spooky occurrences during the production of The Exorcist?
Well, I very much believe in them, Adam, because I know for a fact that demons are real. One day, I was walking down the street, demon came up to me, said, "How's it doing, Vinny?" Stole my shoe. So, you know, demons do exist out there, and they can get you.
I see you got a new shoe though in the.
Well, you know, I'm not going to let Vinny take my fresh pairs, so I was fine. But still, demons are out there, and I believe that, you know, when you make a film about such abhorrent evils, they're going to come for you. That's a gateway into their dimension, and they're just coming right for you. So, I mean, it's only time will tell, and that's what's going to happen if you do that.
So are you suggesting there are shoe-dealing demons out there?
There are.
Shoe-dealing? Shoe-stealing?
Yeah. I mean, I just got a shoe-stealing one. I mean, if you make a movie about demons, of course, you know, you're going to get all kinds of stuff, like people throwing up in theatres and stuff. It's only natural.
You know what? Again, I think you're on something. You're coming out.
What can I say, man? I know everything.
I don't doubt that at all. You're blowing my mind right now. So, do you? Yeah. So you agree that it's supernatural in nature? If you believe in demons, of course, then you must believe in the supernatural.
Exactly. They're all around us. You don't even know it.
You can't even see them.
Yeah.
So, moving on to Grease, a well-loved film by all. Can we all agree? Do you
together,
think
you know?
Sandy died at the beginning of the film?
Well, you know, that flying car, there's only two explanations for that. Either she is dead, or, and this is just a theory, the reptilians gave her that car. I mean, those greasers, they look pretty, you know, pretty sketchy kind of guys. They might have some affiliation with reptilians. I mean, you know, David Icke said that they're everywhere, so I guess that could be the one explanation to that. Or she could be dead, you know? Who knows?
I have been looking into that theory lately whilst doing my my investigation into some of the biggest events of the year. So I do think that may be a good point. So you mentioned the flying car.
Yeah.
Are they just trying to explain the flying car by grasping at straws, do you think?
Well, you know, you can never really understand these things fully, but I mean, I wouldn't say they're grasping at straws, you know? Flying cars, that's weird. And Grease is a film very grounded in reality. I mean, look at Grease Lightning. Those moves, anyone can do them. They're absolutely fantastic.
They're very realistic.
Exactly. And that car race, it was like I was actually there. So, you know, it's very understandable to believe that these supernatural elements have to come from some sort of outside source.
Because there are people out there that will make up fake conspiracies, and there's nothing I detest more than a fake conspiracy.
Exactly. This fake news, I can't deal with it. I want the real facts. Don't lie to me.
Exactly, and that's why we are here today. Now, you may think it's the end of the show, but you are wrong. What you may not have been aware of is that one of the fan theories that we've mentioned in today's show was completely made up by our conspiracy experts here at Conspiracy. I bet you didn't see that one coming. It's up to you at home to do some detective work and decipher which fan theory wasn't true at all. The answer will be at the end of next week's show. Do you guys have any thoughts on which one was made up? Do you?
You know what? I can't tell. It's too deep. You've messed with my brain, man. I don't know what's real anymore.
I mentioned fake conspiracies, and it bugs you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it bugs me, man. What's real?
Exactly.
Are you real? Am I real? Are we all just part of some frog's dream? I don't know anymore.
We might not be real. But we take pride in interacting with our fan base here at Conspiracy. So we've asked you to tweet in your favourite conspiracies. Let's take a look at what some of you have said. So Jake Oldham has said, my favourite film conspiracy is that the briefcase from Pulp Fiction contains a soul. Emil, what do you think about this?
I mean, obviously, it's happened throughout all of time, you know, these globalist demons, they put souls into the briefcases, their cars, their shoes, you know. You can't stop it. It's everywhere. And Quentin Tarantino knows. He's deep in the industry, so he knows all about it. He knows about the Hollywood demon stealing ring.
Coming from the expert himself. Can we have a look at the next tweet, please? Luke Sheehan has tweeted in saying, did you know that it's believed that in Toy Story, Andy's mum may have been the original owner of Jessie? Hence why Andy is wearing a Jessie hat at the start of the film. Emil, what do you think about this?
Well, you know, I don't buy into, you know, all this Hollywood, you know, crap usually, but that film tugs at my heartstrings, and to know that Andy's mom would just abandon Jessie like that, you know what? I have no sympathy for her or Andy anymore. How could you do that to the poor toy?
I mean, it nearly took the yee-haw out of Jessie's voice box.
Exactly.
Heartbreaking.
You can't do that.
Next tweet, please. What do we have? Liam Haddock says, one suggests that Ferris Bueller was actually just a voice in hypochondriac friend Cameron's head, so that he basically represents the ideal life he always wanted.
Well, you see, with all these, government agendas pushing all these things into our kids' heads, it's not hard for them to want to believe that they are this great celebrity. And when you got Matthew Broderick, the Lion King himself, of course you want to be like him. So of course Hollywood wants to put into kids' heads that they also want to be the Lion King. So of course, how do you do that? Ferris Bueller's Day Out.
I did think his day out was too good to be true.
Exactly. What kid can steal a car of that much money and then just break it?
Exactly.
There's got to be repercussions to your actions.
It's ridiculous, and in itself, it's a conspiracy. So, thank you for joining us tonight. Next week, we delve into the music industry. Many conspiracies in that. We discuss Biggie Smalls, Paul McCartney, and Tupac. I've been Detective Enigma, and remember, keep watching the skies.